Hey everybody, back at you with another tip that might save you some time and money and also help you get back outside and adventuring. When you get into outdoor adventure, whether it's fishing or hiking or who knows what, camping or whatever, then you may find that you need a good pair of boots or even an okay pair of boots. And what you don't want to do is ruin your school shoes or shoes that you wear every day to work or anything like that. So how do you get a pair of boots? Well, you can go to the store and spend a whole bunch of money on a pair of boots, or you can start looking in the used market. You can go to consignment stores, or you can go to something like Goodwill or CCA or something like that and find yourself a decent pair of hiking boots or work boots or something like that. And these boots might be a little bit older and might be a little bit dry, have been exposed to the sun a whole lot. You may ask your dad or your uncles or whomever if they got an old pair of boots that they're not using anymore or something like that. And maybe you can use those as your outdoor adventure boots. But again, those boots may be a little dry, a little old, and you might feel like they're trash now. Well, that's not. Okay, don't throw away a good pair of boots or even an okay pair of boots that might get you a couple of adventures. So even if you've got a decent pair of boots that probably were waterproof at one time or were soft at one time, they may not be quite so waterproof or quite so soft now. So what do? And I'm going to give you some boot care tips. When you go to soften leather and make it waterproof, there's a lot of products out there. And one of the ones that you'll inevitably find is mink oil. Mink oil works great. You should wear gloves. You should be very clean with it. And it is not something that you would want really in your body or soaking through your skin or anything like that. And you can't find it in large amounts, and you can't really find it in most stores. You're gonna have to order it off the internet. And once you've ordered it and used it, that's the only thing you can use mink oil for. So what if I wanted to spend my money a little more wisely? When I was working at Hammond Scout Ranch, which is a high adventure camp in the Texas Hill Country, then we used a lot of tack, like saddles and other things that go on horses and donkeys and stuff. That's what tack is. And in the tack room, you got 25 saddles to work with and a bunch of other stuff. Then you can't just be ordering little things of mink oil all the time. So what we used was very cheap olive oil, light olive oil. And you can find on the internet, I'm not the only person to do this, olive oil will soften and waterproof leather. This is just a cheap store brand. I think I paid $6 for it at like the bougie grocery store, and it's still $6. You could probably get this at Sam's or any other grocery store for even less. And there's a huge amount of it. It's a lot of it. Olive oil. I'm not going to use anywhere near this much on my boots, and so you can also use it to cook with, or salads, anything like that. So this is kind of a multi-purpose item, and it can help you get outside and adventure. I've got an old pair of boots right here, this old pair of Wolverine boots that I'm setting up for my son, and they were kind of dry. So you can see some of the dry that's there. And my son and I have oiled these, and what you do is you put the olive oil on and you start rubbing it, just really working it into the leather with your hands. It's okay to get olive oil over your hands. Your hands feel great afterwards, and you don't have to worry about what sort of weird chemicals and metals and things might be soaking into your skin. And after you're done with it, you can cook with it if you want. So what you do is you work it into the leather, and as over time, so you work the leather, work it into where it looks wet, right? And then you let it sit for about an hour. And what you'll see is in certain places it starts to soak up the oil, right? And those are the places you really want to start to focus on. Let the boot tell you where it needs help, right? So like here, it's already kind of saturated, but here it's soaking in, it needs some more oil in here. So you kind of love on your boots a little bit. You wet them down with oil, really rub them in good, massage them in, and then let them sit for about an hour. If you do this in the summertime, go ahead and let them sit in the sun. It opens up the pores of the leather and soaks up even more oil. Let it sit for about an hour, check on them, and then repeat the process. Make sure you take the laces out of the boots first. Whether you use mink oil, olive oil, you can even use coconut oil for this. Make sure the boots are warm though if you do coconut oil. Always take your laces out. If you get these things saturated in oil, they will not hold a knot, and you'll be tying your shoes every 5 minutes. So I'm gonna keep working on these boots, and then I'm gonna do my own boots. And you'll find that these things are fantastically waterproof when you finish them up. And even though these are old boots, you see they're really starting to soften up. So this is a way to maybe spend no dollars or $20 on a pair of boots, $6 on some oil, and any place, even Walgreens sells laces for about $1. And this is a cheap way to get yourself and maybe your family back outdoors, fishing, camping, hunting, doing whatever you want to do to experience nature. Hope that helps.